I'm the OG right now.
Yeah.
Because right now we have a lot of people doing or trying to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I started Matatu work, let's say, back in 2009. It took me around 7 years.
Before you started making money.
Yes.
So for 7 years, this was a hobby.
Yeah, it was a hobby. In the Matatu industry, first of all, there's money everywhere.
Do you think you've made the most amount of money you potentially could have made in your life by picking this path?
I'd say it's a very satisfying job. If I was to do something else, I'd still choose this again. There are jobs that you can only dream of. Last year, I worked on the vans for King Charles. For the Matatu, it's just two ways. It's either you're doing well or you're suffering. So there's no in between.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Financially Incorrect. I am your host, Barak, and as usual, we have an interesting money conversation lined up for you. This podcast is proudly sponsored by FX Pesa, and as we know, the US election is coming up in the next couple of months, and obviously, that affects the dollar. If you'd like to stay up to date with all the market news, you can do so on the Equity Trader app that's available on App Store and the Play Store. This is an app by Equity Group, which is essentially FX Pesa. It's a solution. It's a solution for you to trade commodities. It's a solution for you to be able to learn about trading. It's a solution for you to be able to keep up to date and trade efficiently. Today, I have with me a really interesting conversation. Or probably we're going to talk about something you've never really consciously thought about. If you're Kenyan, have probably been in one way or another, have ridden in a means of transport, but we're going to talk about the Matatu culture. And I have with me Brian Graff from Matwana Culture, founder and CEO, and really looking forward to have this conversation. Welcome to Financially Incorrect.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you for having me.
Uko sawa?
Sawa
Tuongeshe.
kabisa. Kofiti.
Do you know when whoever came, we had Brad from Big Fish who came.
Okay.
I think a couple of weeks ago, and then guys were like, "Oh, they brought Brad to teach Barak Kiswahili." Anyway, I can speak Swahili.
Yeah.
I can speak some Sheng.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it, Brad. Right, Graff. First of all, where did the name come from?
Graff came from the word graffiti.
Okay.
Yes. So it's just a short
It's
form.
like-
Yeah. Back in high school, I used to, design letters for people, the envelopes and all.
The ones for chicks.
Yeah, for chicks. Yeah. Then go plug.
What high school were you in?
I was in NPC Academy in Buruburu. Yes.
Grew up in Buruburu.
Yes. Grew up in Buru.
Yeah.
I'm from Buru.
How was that? What was growing up like for you? What was money like for you guys? Family setup.
Family setup, ile tu ya kawaida, mom, dad, sisters. Yeah. Buruburu, I think, I'm not really sure. Buruburu middle class or something.
Yeah.
Kitu kaa hiyo.
Yeah.
So, just normal. A lot of friends.
Yeah.
A lot of art. A lot of music influence. Yes.
What did your folks teach you about money?
My folks taught me to save. To save money.
Directly or indirectly?
Directly.
So they'll give you money and be like, save.
Yeah. So they give me, they trick me. So they give you a lot of money on one particular day. Let's say it's Monday, they give you some money. Then Tuesday, they give you. Then Wednesday, when you go to ask for lunch money or something, wanakwambia walishakupatia. So, from there you get to learn. And you need to commute and all. So you just learn the hard way. Because kama hauna kitu inabidi tena utembe.
How long did it take you to learn that lesson?
It took time. I'd say maybe 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Because when you're a kid, it's sad.
Yeah.
Because you'll be tempted by small things.
Yeah. So they'd always give you enough money for the week. So on Monday,
Yeah.
if they're giving you money Monday, Tuesday, for those the money they've given you those 2 days should be able to get you through the week.
Should be able to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Sapia, I used to go to my sisters, tell them I don't have anything. So I use their lunch money too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. I'm the last one.
Okay.
From a family of 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your sisters had a lot of mercy.
Yeah, they had a lot of mercy. Being the smallest and the only boy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they have mercy.
Okay. So that's what growing up is like.
Yeah.
So when do you start making your own money? When do you start interacting with money for yourself? A lot more. Whether it's and now it's not
say-
sort of like lunch money. Yeah.
I'd say like for money, I really started making my own money in class 6 because I was in boarding school. So I used to do, you do tasks for people. Let's say you wash clothes for someone, or you sell things. Like we used to buy a box of biscuits, and then you get to sell to your colleagues. So from there, you get to know how to save, because you also need to, let's say, purchase another carton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you used to do with the money that you'd make?
The money mostly, I used to like a lot of, electronic stuff. So we used to have these Walkmans and all. That was the goal at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
It was more of like entertainment.
Right. If all the money you had would go into entertainment.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to see if we can chart a path to how you ended up at founding Matwana Culture,
Okay.
because you said you sort of started it
yeah.
very early on. So when do you get intrigued by, I guess, the Matatu culture in Kenya?
So I got intrigued a long time ago. I'd say back in primary school. Because when primary school, I used to be, before I went to boarding, I used to be in a day school. So as I was going home, I used to see a lot of matatus. Because at that time, Buruburu was at its peak. And also, where I used to stay, it was just a few kilometers away to a garage. There's a garage there where I used to see people like Moha. And I just got to talk to them and all that. But now when I got to high school, it became easier for me, because now I used to take photos. I used to take photos of the vehicles. I used to interact with them when I go to town. So from there, that's where I grew my interest, and also got to, when you're younger, you're a bit shy. But now as I got older, I got that confidence of, asking questions. Yes.
So that's where you sort of you sort of start. So
Yeah.
when do you decide that this is going to be a possible career path that you want to follow?
When I decided that was, I decided matatus would be a career when I was in Form 3. Form 3, that's when I started the page, actually. Because just from when we used to get out from school, used to take a couple of pictures with my friends. Then, those times we didn't have phones that much. So we were mostly relying on the cyber cafes, and also used to take pictures.
And these are just pictures of like cool looking
Cool-looking matatus.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to know like really what goes behind that, all that work and all. But we just used to take cool pictures, ride on them after school, wait for the craziest matatus for hours at the stage. Yeah. So after high school, now that's when I tried to venture into the industry more and more. That's when I started taking trips to the garages and also to the fabricators. Yes.
Okay. If we try and describe, if you were to try and describe for me what the Matatu world looks like, the ecosystem and the different players around it, are you able to give that a shot? Yeah.
I can mention.
The different people that make up the Matatu world.
We have the car dealers. Then we go to the fabricators. We go to the salespeople. We go to the workmanship behind, like the people they build the bodies and all, and the customization. We have the sound installer, light installer, music installer, graphic designer, branding artist, airbrush artist. Then we have the driver, conductor. Also have the circle, which has officials in it. Yes.
Okay, so there are like 10, 11 different,
Yeah.
11 different people who make up the ecosystem. So At what point when you're now, I guess at Form 3, maybe Form 4, getting out, at what point and at what point are you getting into the industry? And at what level?
I started out with, just photography. So just taking photos, videos, just documenting first of all. That's why I started. So as the community got to grow, that's where I started venturing into doing work for Matatus, like branding work. I started with branding. So stickers, a bit of paint work. I used to go to Moha. Back then he was in Isili. So I used to interact with him a lot, and he also used to teach me a few things.
Okay. Just for context, this is the second time you're mentioning Moha. Maybe just give us a profile of who Moha is.
Moha
Yes.
Graphics.
Yes.
I think he's like the OG or one of the most known graffiti artists. Like we have a very big team. We have even people who were working with him and also just doing the individual works. But Moha is the most outspoken person in the industry because he's done a lot of projects. He's also been in a lot of Matatu interviews. So he's a very big name in our industry.
In the industry. Yeah. Okay. So so you start by taking pictures. And at this point, I mean, when you're I guess finishing high school, your parents aren't talking to you about you don't want to try anything else, you don't want to try formal education, you don't want to try
Yeah, so there's a debate and a fight. Because also my parents wanted me to do a profession. And I ventured into culinary arts. So culinary arts basically is being a chef.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I trained for. And also I trained for graphic design. Yes.
So you did both of them?
I did both of them.
Okay.
But the same time still doing Matatus.
Right.
Yeah.
At that point in time, were you making any money from the Matatu?
No.
Yeah.
It took me, I started Matatu work, let's say, back in 2009. It took me around 7 years.
Before you started making money?
Yes.
So for 7 years, this was a hobby?
Yeah, it was a hobby.
And how? So how would you survive during those 7 years? What were you doing to survive the 7 years?
After I trained for the graphic design job and also the culinary arts, I used to juggle between the two.
Yeah.
So I do cooking jobs. I also do design work for companies and businesses. So from there, I used to fund the hobby. I'd say the hobby at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a good cook?
I'm a good cook.
Yeah. What's your best meal?
I'd say anything with chicken.
Anything with chicken?
Yeah, anything with chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, because chicken, you can really play with it.
Yeah.
Like you can have different styles of how you can cook it. You can stew it. You can, you can roast it. You can grill it. Yeah.
Do you use your cooking skills to get dates? And the reason I'm asking is like, I mean, like if you're a chef and like you have a date and you tell someone like, come, I'll make the food.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that may make more sense than spending.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I've used it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. So what would be your go-to meal like for a date then? I guess you might have to change it after this, but
for a date, maybe you just start things simple.
Yeah.
Like maybe like for Kenyans, I think when you do a dish like something with chapati or things like butter chicken with naan.
Yeah.
It looks fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like butter
simple,
chicken,
but looks fancy.
Yeah, that's a good meal.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So at that time, you're doing both you're doing culinary jobs and you're doing graphic design job for companies to make money. How much are you making at that time?
Roughly, I was making like 30,000 in a month.
Yeah.
That was trying to do both of them.
Yeah.
I was making around 30,000 per month.
Are you still staying at home?
I was good because I was staying at home.
Yeah.
Then in 2016, now that's when my Matatu career picked up. Because at that time, I got picked for a gig for Safaricom. This thing called Blaze. You heard of it, right?
Yes.
Blaze.
Yes.
I was a mentor for creative arts.
Okay.
And I did that for 2 years. Yeah. That was good money.
What does that entail? What would it entail being a placementer?
Creative arts, first of all, is people dealing with art in terms of either it's digital, it's on canvas, it's on matatus, even in terms of, let's say you're an actor, they're all forms of art, even including dance. So what it entails being a mentor was taking people through how they would set up as an artist or as a creative, because most of the time people usually struggle with the way they would start or the way they would package their brand or product.
Yes. And this was from the page that you had already started, the page that you had created. This was coming from the page.
Yes, it was coming from the page.
Okay. How much would they pay Blaze mentors? I don't know many people who have been Blaze
for
mentors.
Blaze it was everyone was paid differently. For me, I was paid 300,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Per month.
Per year.
Or per year.
Yeah, per year. But you still have per DMs. You still have things like free credit. You still have
other benefits that were coming.
Yeah, benefits coming.
Okay.
And it's not like a full-time gig.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe you're just needed for like 2 weeks in a month or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. What did you do with the money now?
The money I invested back in the business because at that time I was still trying to do a lot with Matwana. So in terms of we started a line for the merchandise. We also had some equipment to buy, things like cameras, machines like computers. Yeah.
Was the path clear? The monetization path clear for you at that point?
It wasn't clear. The monetization part for me, it was very blurry. Like for the industry, the Matatu industry, I'd say what I wanted to do was something very new to the industry. So there was no I wouldn't say I had a mentor or I had an example of what it would be like. So I was just trying out things.
So what was keeping you, I guess, reinvesting or putting the money in that space? Because I would assume that to some degree you'd be like, I'm going to buy new cameras, I'm going to put in money. And even if it was not 100% clear, the objective was to try and make back something. Yeah.
So for me, what I did was I was trying out new things. And at that time, even before the Safaricom deal, I started recording for a TV show. So in my mind, I thought people maybe would like to see a Matatu TV show.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing.
Yeah.
It took me a while to do it because we were just just two people shooting. And then it was also difficult because when you go to record the Matatus, people usually wonder okay, so tunafanya hizi vitu mnapeleka.
Yeah.
So it was really challenging, also just trying to sell the idea. But at the end of the day, we managed. And that was what was pushing me because I always feel like the industry needs to be documented. Because part of the reason why I started Matwana was to document the industry. Because we usually have a lot of creative work going on, but we didn't have maybe somewhere where we could refer to. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if I can go down that line of questioning around what is it that you found and find so unique about Matatu culture that gives you, that feeling of, this needs to be documented. This is important. This is really cool. What is it? And potentially, I don't know if you've looked at other transport spaces, whether it's around the country, around the region, or another. What is it that makes the Kenyan one stand out for you?
Yeah, I'd say Matatu culture stands out because it's one of a kind. I know there are some countries which they've tried to do something almost similar, but for Kenya, I feel like it's really unique. Because it's first of all, it's owned by the public, so it's private. It's not government is not involved anymore. So I feel like it's something that really defines us as Kenyans, and also for artists we get to have somewhere where you can get to express ourselves through the Matatus, be it pop culture or anything. we get a place where we can air that out. And also, I feel like when also like people come to Africa, it shouldn't always just be about animals. Yeah, it should be about something else. Because we need also, as each country, I feel like each country needs to package itself in a very unique way. And for Kenyans, we have the Matatu industry to speak for us. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, do you think then, though, that the, I don't know, there's, the negative connotation around the drivers, or the driving and all of that. I mean, do you think that then gets in the way sometimes of even local Kenyans seeing the positivity or potential positivity underlying in the Matatu culture?
Yeah, so there's a lot of negativity, but I'd say like comparing now and where we started, it's people are getting more positive about matatus. So like back in the days, you used to see headlines like Matatu madness, stuff like that. But right now, everyone is trying to better the image. So be it the drivers, conductors, nowadays people have WhatsApp groups. They have pages on social media just for a certain matatu. Because that's we saw that we can use social media to paint a good picture for the industry. And we can also get to display how we would like people, to receive us or to perceive us. Yes.
Okay. Let's get into, I guess, now when you started making money.
Yeah.
When you really started making money now with Matwana Culture.
Yeah.
Maybe I can first of all ask, what's the average amount of money that conductors, drivers are taking home? Or the different people in the Matatu industry at this initial level, even the guys who fill up the matatus
matatus,
and then come out. Yeah.
Yeah. So for drivers, usually you can say anywhere from 1,000 onwards. There's no limit.
1,000. These are day.
1,000 a day.
Okay. At a minimum.
Yes, at a minimum.
Yeah.
For the conductors, you can say 500 minimum.
Who's the driver who makes the most amount of money? What amount of money is it? Because you're saying there's no limit. However, but the reason I'm asking is because there's a finite number of hours in a day.
Yeah.
So there's a finite number of routes you can do. Yeah.
So
and what's the 1,000 based on even?
Okay.
Yeah.
So for any matatu to operate, we usually, we have a standard of how the day goes. So kuna hizi vitu tunaita squad. So we have to do squads. So like each route, you can do a maximum of certain squads. So let's say we are talking about, a route like Umoja. You'd find a matatu doing at least from 8 to 13 squads in a day, depending with also the type of matatu it is. Because hizi zenye tunaita manyanga, the good ones, the big ones and the cool ones. I can do a maximum of 13 in a day. So if you put 3,300 times 2,
where is the 3,300 coming from?
3,300, like the fare.
Oh, so that's the full.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3,300 is when it's full.
Yeah.
So let's say it end on 100 shillings, then comes back, let's say, with 50 shillings. So you have to do that math. Then you multiply it by the number of squads.
Okay.
Then there's money that you need to give to the circle. There's money that you need for fuel, car wash, police, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also just for your daily expenses.
Yeah.
Because the matatu usually caters for, things like their breakfast, their lunch, and also transportation back to work.
Right.
Yes. So based on, after paying all these expenses, now the driver gets to get his share from there. So the reason why I'm saying it usually varies is the matatu, let's say it's on private hire. It'll have a different amount.
Yeah.
But also, even if it's still on route, it may depend. Because there's a day that the matatu might consume more fuel. But there's a day it might consume less. Yes. So that's what really determines
how much
the
money you
Yes.
take.
And,
So
and the fuel is a key part.
Yeah.
Afadhali kose mshahara na gari iko na mafuta.
Yeah.
Yes, because you still need the fuel tomorrow.
To be able to make more money tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So does the drivers usually take a percentage of the net sum of everything that's been removed? So if you're saying
there's a
a driver will
percentage,
take what 10%, 20% of the net sum,
Yes.
or that's based on an agreement.
Just based on agreement.
Yeah.
It's just
Individual
individual
agreement.
agreement. But at the end of the day, the driver is the one who pays the most.
Who's paid the most?
Yes, the most.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the most amount a driver makes
4,000
in a day?
Yeah, in a day.
So what would he? Okay, let's take it on average in terms of in a month. How much would a driver be making in a month? On the higher side, because again, do they work? This is working 7 days a week.
Yeah, you can do 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay, just depends with the individual.
Yeah.
Not everyone can take 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some who they can even take like 25 days in a month.
Yeah.
They're working.
Yeah.
So just do like, let's say like for 20 days, let's say if you get even roughly 3,000.
Yeah.
That's already 60.
Yeah.
So roughly in a month, you'd get someone with, 60 to 100.
Okay.
Depending with the flow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What about then the conductors? Is it half of that?
The conductors usually, let's say 30.
Okay.
30 to 40.
30 to 40.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you're looking at now the seat fillers, how much are those guys paid? Is it
so the seat fillers ama venye wanaitwa watu wa seti.
Yeah.
Watu wa seti, now it depends with the route.
Yeah.
There are some routes that these guys paid 20 shillings. Other places 50 shillings or 30 shillings. So it usually just depends with how many matatus you get to sit in.
And so this is like 20 bob per sitting. So like when you come out,
so for this matatus is 20 bob, for the other is 20. And then obviously kuna ule conductor atasema cheki wacha niende hivi alafu nirudi. And then doesn't come back.
Okay.
So pesa inaenda.
What about the police fee? How much do matatus? What percentage of the gross money that matatus make goes into to police affairs?
So for police, it usually just depends, because even for the police we have ranks. Kuna hao wenye wamevaa nguo ya blue na wale wamevaa ile nguo inakaa combat.
Yeah.
Hiyo bei tofauti. So tusema tunalipa polisi according na mawe.
Okay.
You know those things they have here.
Yeah.
Ama zile badge pia za huko mbele.
Yeah.
So according the higher your rank, the more you can get.
What's the range?
Ikienda sana, we give 1,000.
That's a day.
No, 1,000 to a person. Let's say kama the big cops.
Yeah.
But the small cops, it depends. 50, 100.
And that's on
200.
interaction, like when you meet with them.
Yeah, on interaction.
Yeah.
Pia.
And can you meet multiple?
You can meet multiple. It just depends. But there's a way, like, you interact with them.
Yeah.
So see that you just give everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a way that, you just try to sweet talk them.
You gauge and see, if you're able to get away with it.
Kazi si poa, nimeamka, nimetoka garage.
Right.
Kuna wenye pia lama wapime. Because these guys, if you just give them money easily, they'll just be on their neck every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matatu was an investment, right? Or a potential investment for people. Maybe let's talk about that, because that's something that you also advise on right now, right? One of your businesses advises on, right? And you were earlier off camera, we were talking about how you're telling me how there are some routes where they make a lot more money, others are more competitive.
Yeah.
So maybe you can give us a bit of just that landscape of yeah.
So
and your experience owning a matatu as well. Yeah.
So for matatus, we usually have routes that are very competitive and some that are not.
Yeah.
For example, a route like Rongai, Ngong, Umoja, Embakasi, those are very competitive routes. And also it's competitive in terms of not just the number of matatus, but also the quality of matatu that you that you take to that route.
It has to be
Yeah, it has to be top notch. So for matatus, we have 3 ranks. Like we have top table, mid table, and low table. So, so at the end of the day,
And does this have you found that affects the amount of money that a
it
matatu
does.
can make?
It does.
Yeah.
So like for the top table matatus, tunaita manyanga, mboko. Ukisia mboko, manyanga, nganya.
Yeah.
Those ones, they come to the stage, they can spend even like 5 minutes only. I'm at 10.
And they're full.
And it's full. Yani paka, there are people who just want to stand in that matatu
Yeah.
and leave the other that's empty, the stage. Because, it's all about the entertainment.
Yeah.
Also the crew. Because the driver, you'd find like there's a fast driver on this one. Also, just for the entertainment is all about each day in a matatu, we have different genres playing. So like there's a day for R&B, there's a day for bongo, there's a day for dancehall. And also apart from that, it's also about, just the consistency of the crew. Because in some matatus, you'll find the conductor being changed almost every day. But for some, it's just constant.
It's the same team, yeah.
Yeah, so even if you don't have fare,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but now for the
Bottom
cool matatus,
and
like the top table,
Yeah.
You can make anywhere from 10,000 to 14,000 in a day.
Net.
Yes.
So this is the money you're taking home. This is
the money you're giving the matatu owner
the money yeah.
each day.
Yeah.
Yes.
10 to 14,000 in a day.
Yes.
Okay. So how much has it made? How much do you think to be able to give 10 to 14,000? Because that means you've paid out all of the other expenses.
Yes.
So how much are you actually making? In a day?
Roughly, you can have a gross of like around 60. Around 60, 50 to 60,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's, profit in terms of margins, that's still relatively high. The cost is still relatively high because you're spending about like 80% to run it.
Yeah, there's a lot of charges, like because first of all, fuel is still expensive in Kenya, and these vehicles consume a lot of petrol.
Yeah.
Diesel.
Yeah.
In a day. So fuel charges, since they're high right now, the cost is high. Also in terms of spares, stuff like that.
All those things go up. Okay. Yeah. What about the mid table and the?
Yeah. So the mid tables, you're just if you're making 10,000. Maybe today, not tomorrow. Like, hakuna mambo ya ati ni leo,
yeah.
So usually below 10,000.
Okay.
So you can make somewhere from 6 to 9.
Okay, a day.
Then now for the low tables, you can just make something like 5.
Yeah.
So like for the top table, you usually make a lot of money because also you've invested a lot of money.
A lot of money into
because these vehicles, someone will spend almost 10 million. On the vehicle. Yeah.
That's inclusive of all of the sound,
that's from
the
buying,
graphics,
buying the unit, to customizing, and even paying insurance.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 tiers.
3 tiers.
10 to 14.
Yeah.
If you're making 10 today, it's not tomorrow. And then at bottom tier, we're doing up to potentially 5.
True.
Okay. And then what about the routes? Because you're also talking about the competitiveness of the different routes.
So for the routes, it also depends because each route, there are routes which are highly populated. So the flow is higher. You can operate from early in the morning, let's say from somewhere like 4 or 5 a.m. Then you can go up to midnight. But for routes which are not very active, you can find...
What's a route that potentially is not active? Because we've talked about the busy ones.
Yeah, not so active. I'd say a route like, right now I'd say Isili. Isili, so not so active at the moment. Kasarani. Yeah.
Okay. So if someone was to invest and wanted to put money into matatus and use that as an investment, what would be your advice, or what would be your thoughts around how to go about that right now to make the most money? Yeah,
to make the most money, I'd say you'd really have to look for a route that your budget would fit in, and also a place that it is less competitive. Because a place that is less competitive, you have more years that your matatu can operate. Yes.
Okay.
So you'd be looking at, first of all, you need to look at the size of the matatu, because we have different categories. We have the 14-seater, we have the 25, 29, 33, 46, and 51. Yes. So you need to look at which category you're going into, look at the investment being put, and also now how also you'll customize it in terms of, will it be a manyanga, or will it be something that has uniform circles, like colors, like things like KBS, Super Metro, and all that.
Right.
Yeah. Because also there are matatus for all people, and for the youth.
So you also need to decide who it is that you're trying to service.
You also need to decide your niche, because it's very good to know from the start, so that it prevents a lot of complications and all.
And I've heard you talk about, you've just said it'll allow you to operate for longer. So is there a lifespan for matatus? What's that lifespan?
Yeah, there's a lifespan for matatus.
Yeah.
So for the high investment, high revenue matatus, it can operate for a maximum of 5.
Maximum of 5 years.
5 years.
Have you made your money back in 5 years?
Yeah, it'll make your money.
Yeah.
You'll make your
Let's
money.
do that math right now.
You'll make your money.
Because if you're saying you're spending about 10 million, if you're making, let's use the lower end, you're making 10,000 a day.
But for the 10,000 one, you can't spend 10 million. You won't spend 10 million.
Okay, so
for the 10,000 one, you look for an old matatu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk about for 10 million one, you'd be bringing in about 14 a day.
Yeah, 14,000
14K.
a day.
Okay, so let's say 14,000
And
a
also,
day.
there are days that you get to hire out the matatu.
Yeah.
So maybe people are going to Nakuru or something. So you get to make more.
Okay, actually it is possible, because I mean,
It is possible.
If everything was or utopian and remained constant at 14,000 a day for 365 days, that's 5 million. So in 2 years, that's 10 million. So I mean, give or take,
So roughly,
I guess within 5 years, you've made your 10 million
you'd say
back.
like the matatu usually works for like 25 days
Okay.
in a month.
Yeah.
So when you do the math, it adds up.
Yeah, it does. It does. It adds up for sure.
Yeah. Plus, also every year, you have to revamp
that's
the matatu.
4.2 a year.
Yes.
Yeah, so for 5 years, you're looking at an earning potential of 21 million. Yeah, that's doubling, more or less doubling your investment.
But the
in
money
5 years.
changes after a few years.
Because now it's no longer. Okay.
It's no longer the newest.
Yeah.
So, the income, comes down. But
Okay.
that's why matatus, we usually do renovations every 1 year.
Yeah.
Every 1 year.
To make
'Cause
sure.
that's when also your license expires.
Yeah.
The inspection, license,
Okay.
So you have to change the color, you have to
Yeah.
change a couple of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want
Interesting.
to remain relevant.
Yeah. I guess an interesting investment option for people. So, okay, now I guess try and work backwards to how you even have all of this knowledge about the matatu industry and how it works. So you say you start making some money, you then got called to Blaze as a mentor. We've talked about what you do with that money. So how then do you now really open up Matwana Culture as like a proper company and business? Yeah.
So after the Safaricom gig, that's when we launched the TV show.
Yeah.
We launched the first season. We take it to K24. It airs.
Did they buy it?
They didn't buy it.
You got on a revenue.
They didn't buy it.
Yeah.
They didn't even offer any money. Because everyone was like, this is too experimental for us.
Okay.
Because we had gone to the other stations, they declined.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still a blessing.
Yeah.
Because once it aired on K24, they got a call for DSTV. Yeah, so Maisha Magic took it after.
Okay.
So,
and
we
now
got
they
paid.
bought it.
Strategy.
There now they bought it. Okay.
Yeah.
What at that time? What was the TV show going for?
Okay, since ours was it was a re-air,
Yeah.
we didn't get a lot of money.
Oh, they took the same season. They didn't ask you. They didn't commission a new season.
No, they didn't commission a new season.
Okay.
So you're just re-airing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though after that, we had a lot of things happening at the same time. So we were doing a lot of projects in the garage. We also had events that we were doing. Like there's an event called Nganya Awards. It's an award ceremony. So we get
That you guys started.
Yes. Yeah. So we were part of that team. So we got to do a couple of them. We did 3 of them, actually. That also opened up a lot of opportunities and also interaction, with the corporate world.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we also got to work for, like in terms of doing charity work, doing road trips, the consultation and management, and also we started doing training. So training for young creatives, like maybe you want to venture into the art industry or you want to do music installation. Yeah, so we have a school for that.
Okay, so under Matwana, you have a school
under
now
Matwana.
that takes.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, so those are like multiple arms that you then develop as for business.
Yes.
And people generate money. So at what point do you then start doing this full time and put the culinary?
It was full time actually. It
So
was
by
full-time.
by that time you
because in 2016, that's when it became full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that and is it a business that you fully own on your own? Did you have to get any partners?
Yes,
Yeah.
I fully own it by myself.
Yeah.
No partners.
None, zero. So hii kazi umefanya.
You can to reveal.
Yeah.
But I get to collaborate with a lot of people.
Yeah.
In terms of the work we do. So it also creates an opportunity for them.
Okay.
Yeah, to showcase what they can do and also, just get involved in big projects. Yeah.
Okay. So in your opinion, where would you say the money is in the Matatu culture? Like where who's making the most money and who's taking home the most?
I'd say in the Matatu industry, first of all, there's money everywhere. There's money everywhere. But in terms of, I'd say the drivers and conductors mostly are the ones who stay home the most. Because you remember that time between, I think it was 2020, 2019, COVID. Yeah, COVID period.
Yeah.
Most investors were not buying matatus. So that's the part that really struggles the most.
Yeah.
In terms of how it is right now. Yes. So the more the matatus, the better for them. But usually the highest paying is usually in terms of design work and music installation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, what's making you the most money? I guess in these different arms that you have, what's making you the most money?
Matatu hiring services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's essentially you being an agent for people trying to hire matatus.
Yes.
Okay.
It's being an agent. And also there's a service that we have called Matwana Cruiser. So through Matwana Cruiser, it's a service that we usually do a lot of club hopping for our clients. So we'll take you, let's say, from this club to that club. Then
So it's a party bus.
yeah, it's a party bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the where we make the most
Oh,
money.
what are the what are the clubs? I guess that you go around. What are your routes? Do you also have routes for that as well? Yeah.
So I'm the one who comes up with the plans.
Okay.
So let's say, if it's Kiambu Road, it will be like somewhere like Cabanos, B&D, or, if you are in this sides of Eastlands, it will be at Jiweke or Kuiva Eastlands. If it's Kilimani, we're everywhere.
And you'll have multiple running is it every weekend?
Usually, it's not even just on a weekend, any day.
Oh, really?
At times, also on a Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
and is it on request? Like, do I have to call?
it's
But I
on
have to call
request.
to be like, where is the?
Yes, it's on request.
Yeah.
We usually have a minimum, like a minimum of at least 10 people for like the big bus. But at times it's weird because also there are guys who just take 2 people taking a whole bus.
How much do you charge?
Now it depends. It depends, with the we usually charge depending with the hours.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the hours, the
The
driver,
hours.
and it comes a driver and a conductor.
We have the driver, we have the conductor.
Okay.
Yes, usually a crew of at least 3 people.
Okay.
Yes. So in terms of charging,
Yeah.
I'd say the minimum is 10,000.
Okay.
10,000 for an hour.
And will you pick someone up from their house and drop them back, or?
Usually we'd pick someone from the house,
Yeah.
or maybe let's say a restaurant or something. We
Yeah.
just always tell them to have just a common point.
Yeah.
Where we can pick them up
And drop
take
them.
them around, and also if they want to be dropped, we can do that. We also offer different services, like we also add in, like maybe they want drinks,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
they want takeout.
Yeah.
We add that to the package.
That's really interesting. How popular is that? I would assume
It's really popular.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's been running from 2016, and it's been really popular. Like it'd say, like in a month, at least 4 of them. Yeah, at least 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think then is, I guess, the future? What does the future look like?
For the future, I'd
Yeah.
say
And do you think this is an industry to be in if you want to make money? Like, do you think you've made the most amount of money you potentially could have made in your life by picking this path?
I'd say I've had the best times. Let's start with that. I had the best times because there are jobs that you can only dream of. Like last year, I worked on the vans for King Charles. So that was a really big opportunity for me. So you usually get to have opportunities that you can only dream of. In terms of money, there's a lot of money, but it also depends. At times you can get big projects, or you can get small projects that you need to accumulate. But I'd say it's a very satisfying job. If I was to do something else, I'd still choose this again, over and over. It's something that makes
Is it
me.
because of the money or because of the?
No,
because of the.
it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. It's an industry that you get to meet a lot of people. You get to learn every day. Because as for me, as I've been in the industry for 14 years, but I'm still learning every day. There's a lot to it. The Matatu industry is so big, and I think the thing that really makes me happy about the industry is there's a way that it just operates by itself. We don't usually like get funding from, let's say, the Ministry of Sports and Arts or Youth, but there's a way that we just support our own, be it the investors, be it just the companies and all.
Yeah.
We have a way of making things work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there? I know when you were starting out, you said you didn't really have any mentors or see anyone who's gone
Yeah.
before you. Are there other people who've now come after you,
Yeah.
that have now set up their own, I guess, versions of Matwana culture?
Yeah, I'd say I'm the OG right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Because right now we have a lot of people doing or trying to do what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't take it as competition, but I take it as we are like forming a community where we can really get to talk about, what's happening in the streets.
Yeah.
And also just get to, exchange ideas
Yeah.
through different forms. Because the industry is so big that you can't really cover everything. Because there are things happening here in Nairobi, Mombasa, Eldoret, Nakuru. It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think the future is? Or
The future holds.
Yeah.
I think the future in the Matatu industry, we are moving into more efficient things. Let's say the way we've seen electric vehicles. As much as they still don't have the enough power to hold all the equipment that we have in the Matatus. And also, obviously, the prices are still too high. Because, also when you buy the vehicle, you don't get the charger.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
rely on these guys.
Yes.
And I'd really say that in terms of the way we are documenting the industry,
Yeah.
will really change in
Yeah.
future. Because we are looking at ways, to put the industry in books,
Yeah.
museums and all.
Yeah. Okay. What are key financial goals or targets or what do you call it, milestones that this industry, that working in the Matatu industry has been able to give you? You know, like what are key milestones you had for yourself that you've hit, that you're like, yeah, through working here, I've been able to do this, whether it's buy land, whether it's invest in X or those things. Yeah. What are some of the key ones that you've been able to do?
I'd say I've been able to get my own place because of the Matatu industry. I've also
This is buying your own place or renting?
buying.
You're buying.
Yes. Also, apart from that, I'd say it's really taught me how to handle money. Because for the Matatu, you know, it's just two ways. It's either you're doing well or you're suffering. So there's no in between.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
So it's really taught me how to manage finances.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, the Matatu industry, we are portrayed as people who splurge a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, there's a lot of ways that we've come together, even as people in the industry,
Yeah.
of, you know, forming chamas, I'd say chamas,
Yeah.
and all. So we find ways that we can also invest our money in things that really give us a quick return, and also in terms of looking ahead. Let's say in terms of let's say if it's putting funds, let's say in paying your kids' school fees, or maybe things like life insurance or health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk us a little bit through how you were able to buy the property that you bought, vis-a-vis the monies that you were making, and also, if you'll answer this one, the biggest amount of money you've made, whether it's in a project or like at a go that I guess would be surprising that people may not necessarily think of or imagine. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've really gotten a lot of projects that I've done. Maybe I'd say the most money I've ever made, 600,000.
On a single
Yeah,
project.
on a single project.
Yeah.
I won't say which one,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's all about. I'd say like from my family and also from friends. I usually look at a lot of people who are doing well, let's say in the financial, you know, financial sector and all, and I also get a lot of advice from them. So they've been showing me how to, you know, like invest in things. Let's say things like stocks, bonds, stuff like that. So that's what has made most money for me. Like, you know, there's the way, like, you know, you get paid for something, but now what you do with it is the major part.
Yeah.
Because most people, when they just get paid, just put the money in the bank, or maybe you put it in a savings account, and then it takes years to grow.
Yeah.
So another way that I've also been able to make more money is through buying old matatus, like for the 14-seaters. You buy an old matatu, you sell it for profit. Yes. So that's also another way.
Okay.
Like you can get a matatu, let's say, being sold at 100,000. Then you fix a few things, you can sell it for 500,000. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess the different ways that people would call portfolio was I guess there's that. You've said you've done bonds as well.
Yes.
Stocks.
Yeah.
What else? Do you have what else?
And also, you know, there are things that like for the industry, for the Matatu industry, there are things that you can really invest in so quick. Like let's say you can buy music equipment, then sell it for profit. You can import it, then sell it here locally. Also, you can also get to flip things, like let's say in terms of you can loan out money, then you get interest
A
on
loan
the
shark.
return. Yeah, a loan shark.
In one way or another.
Yes, a loan shark.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so even when the property that you were buying, was it cash? Did you pay for it cash, or did you get a facility? Did you get a loan, or?
No, it wasn't cash.
Yeah.
It wasn't cash.
Yeah.
Because getting all that cash
Yeah.
is a bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
especially like, you know, for for like small entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get a bank loan. So the way I used to do it was I used to save money, give it to my mom, because you know how moms are with their crazy chamas and investments. Then you get interest back, and also since for her she had I'd say like a better financial track record, it was easier for her to get the loan for me. Yes.
Oh, so she got it on your
Yeah,
on your behalf.
Because banks usually have a lot of questions and they want the statements.
Yeah.
And for like us, for the Matatu industry, you don't really get to bank a lot of money. Yeah, it's
Because the money
mostly
is
you're just given cash or someone sends you on your M-Pesa. Or they're just different forms of payment. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Would you want to see a more formalized money transactions almost, I guess?
Yeah, it would be really good to see
Yeah.
something more formal.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like most people, when, for small business people, when they want money, maybe you need to rely on your M-Pesa
Yeah.
or Fuliza,
Yeah.
things like that. And it's really hectic at times.
Yeah.
Going to this app, to this app, to this app, it's really crazy. Because also I remember there's a time I also invested in these Forex things.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
How much did you put in?
I didn't lose money.
You didn't lose
I
money.
didn't lose money.
Yeah.
That's the good part.
Yeah.
I
So you
invested-
really do try and make money like in multiple, in many different ways.
you have to.
Yeah.
Because it's really demanding. You see, like from a business owner perspective, you always need money to do other projects. And you can't really always be relying on people that, and so you say 10 hour, pass you say no. So you just have, to get multiple streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I mean, like I guess when I started the episode, I was saying, it's an industry that I guess you see every day. I mean, but you don't really. I never really consciously thought about it and or even thought about how it works or how many different players there are and how they make their money. I mean, to some extent, but it was really interesting to hear. I guess hear it from an insider's point of view, and actually see and like, there is money, and it potentially is a good investment option. Why did you give up your Matatu, by the way? That's the story you didn't tell us.
So I had a Matatu. I had a 14-seater Matatu.
Yeah.
The reason why I gave up
Was
the
it where was
Matatu-
it? Was it?
It was in
Top-
Langata.
top-
It was
top tier, yeah.
It was top tier, but for a very short time. The reason why I gave up the Matatu was it was a partnership. Yeah, it was a partnership. I started with an ex.
Yeah.
So when things go bad.
So did she take the Matatu?
Yeah, she took the Matatu.
Did you happily give it up, or
I did.
Yeah.
It was that stressful, so I just had to give out the Matatu. But later on, I transferred my shares to her.
Okay.
Then she paid me.
So she paid you the value of.
Yeah.
Is the Matatu still running to date? Okay. And you wouldn't start another one?
No, I'd still venture in the industry. Actually, we have Matatus coming.
Yeah.
I have a couple of them coming.
In.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just takes time. You need to strategize. You need to have, the money, like, start to finish. You don't want to buy the Matatu, let it sit for like a year. You just want to do it once. Yeah. Because the less time you take, the less it costs you.
Yeah.
To make the Matatu.
To make it. And to make it and the more money it will make.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Thanks for that conversation.
You're
and
welcome.
thanks for that, that insight on the Matatu industry. We hope you guys learned a thing or two. Yeah. If you have any questions about the Matatu industry or potentially looking at investing in it, we'll set up, of course, you can find him on Matwana Culture on Instagram, and we'll send any questions you guys might have. And hopefully for one of you, this becomes a new investment opportunity. I mean, Jukush now has a Matatu now.
Yeah.
Did he talk to you before he set it up?
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah.
He called me and then he was like, Graff, nafaa kufanyaje? Nini. So I just took him through
Yeah.
And then he got the right people that
Yeah.
he needed to deal with.
Yeah.
So he went straight to the circle. He got the financial help
Yeah.
that he needed. And then, he launched the Matatu.
Yeah.
And the Matatu is doing well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, for you guys as well, if you want to invest in Matatu business, he's the guy. So we'll put his contacts down there. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.